Good afternoon. Welcome back to Deb's True Crime Notebook. We have a follow-up story to the Joran Van Der Sloot and Natalie Holloway story. Let's get into it. The prime suspect in the 2005 disappearance of Natalie Holloway in Aruba has admitted to killing the Alabama teen, a U.S. federal judge said Wednesday. I have considered your confession to the brutal murder of Natalie Holloway, Judge Ann Manasco said after reading Van Der Sloot's proffer. Brutally murdered in separate incidents years apart, two beautiful women who refused your sexual advances, the judge said, referring to a separate killing in Peru in 2010. Van Der Sloot, the prime suspect in the 2005 disappearance of Holloway, pleaded guilty Wednesday to charges of extortion and wire fraud in connection with the Alabama teen's remains. He was accused of trying to sell the information about the location of Holloway's remains to her family in exchange for $250,000. Holloway's body has never been found. In 2012, an Alabama judge signed an order declaring her legally dead. Joran Van Der Sloot, suspect in Natalie Holloway's case, pleads guilty to extortion. The mother says he admitted to murder. Joran Van Der Sloot, the main suspect in the 2005 disappearance of Natalie Holloway, pleaded guilty Wednesday to federal extortion charges related to the Alabama teenager's death and admitted to her mother that he was responsible for her death. As a part of the plea deal, Van Der Sloot agreed to polygraph test and agreed to provide information about Holloway's disappearance to Holloway's mother, Beth Holloway. Beth Holloway said in the Alabama courtroom, "Joran, for 18 years you denied killing my daughter, and now you have finally admitted that you, in fact, have murdered her. Changed the course of our lives and turned them upside down," she said. "You are a killer. I want you to remember that every time that you're in jail and the door slams. Even if you have finally confessed, you can't be tried here for her murder. But I do implore the court to give you the maximum sentence possible," Beth Holloway said. Turning to Van Der Sloot, she added, "By the way, you look like hell, Joran. I don't know how you're going to make it." She left the podium in tears. Van Der Sloot, 36, apologized in court to the Holloway family and his own family and said he hopes the statement that he provided will provide some kind of closure. Natalie Holloway's dad, Dave Holloway, said in a statement, "Today's proceedings confirmed that this defendant murdered Natalie and then tortured and extorted those who loved her most. He is evil personified," Dave Holloway said. The judge Wednesday accepted the plea agreement and said Van Der Sloot brutally murdered two young women who refused his sexual advances, but that his confession in the Natalie Holloway case cannot be used against him. The judge sentenced Van Der Sloot to 20 years in prison to run concurrently with the Peruvian sentence. He will also have to pay restitution to Beth Holloway. Van Der Sloot initially pleaded not guilty to the extortion and wire fraud charges in June after he was extradited to the U.S. from Peru, where he had been serving a 28-year sentence for the 2010 murder of a 21-year-old Stephanie Flores. Natalie Holloway, 18, vanished in Aruba in May 2005. She was last seen with a group of young men, including Van Der Sloot, then 17. Van Der Sloot was detained as a suspect in Holloway's disappearance and later released. In 2010, Van Der Sloot was indicted by a federal grand jury for allegedly trying to extort Holloway's family. Federal prosecutors allege that in March 2010, Van Der Sloot contacted Beth Holloway through her lawyer, John Q. Kelly, and claimed he would reveal the location of the teen's body in exchange for $250,000, with $25,000 being paid up front. During a recorded sting operation, Kelly met with Van Der Sloot at an Aruban hotel, giving him $10,000 in cash as Beth Holloway wired $15,000 to Van Der Sloot's bank account, according to prosecutors. Then Van Der Sloot allegedly changed his story about the night he was with Natalie Holloway. Prosecutors said Van Der Sloot claimed he had picked Natalie Holloway up, but she demanded to be put down, so he threw her down to the ground. Van Der Sloot said her head hit a rock and he claims she died instantly from the impact, according to the prosecutors. Van Der Sloot then took Kelly to a house and claimed that his father, who had since died, buried Natalie Holloway in the building's foundation, prosecutors said. Kelly later emailed Van Der Sloot saying the information he had provided was worthless, and according to prosecutors, within days, Van Der Sloot left Aruba for Peru. We'll see you next time on Deb's True Crime Notebook. Don't forget to like, share this video, subscribe to my channel, and ring the bell for all notifications. And we'd love to hear your comment.